Well, for better or worse, I have now done 20 predictions, pro projections, prognostications about 2024 for Tesla. And some of my projections will be about other Elon's companies, but not many, a couple. But they also relate and they tie in. Anyway, if you haven't seen the first two, I'm not going to take the time to go through the first 20, even briefly, with you right now. Rather than doing that, I'm just going to recommend, if this is fun for you, or interesting, or useful, or provides you with some thinking material, then be sure and go back and look at the first two. I'll make sure that all of these are easily found. I'll even put them down in the description below so that you can find the URLs easily. And or at the end, remind me, would you, to put up the cards for those at the end. I'll try to remember. Anyway, yeah, I've made 20 predictions so far. I have 30 to go. So hope you've got, a few minutes you can spend with me over the next couple of days to hear the last 30, starting with today. Probably going to take 10 per video. That's what it looks like in order to keep them in a reasonable amount of time. Of course, I would love to have you like. That's going to be a real help. Helps the channel. Okay, helps I'm trying to get, and then subscribe, because I'm shooting for 20,000. We've only been doing this for a little over 13 months, and we're just this close to hitting 20,000. Would sure like to do that in January if possible. Might slip into February, but love to hit that mark. I think that'd be a lot of fun. And your subscription will help. Basically, if you subscribe, though, it's better that if you decide to subscribe, it's because you're going to actually watch more videos in the future. It actually doesn't help me at all if you subscribe and then never watch another one. It kind of actually hurts the channel a little bit. And then hit notify, because all week long, we've got all kinds of great content. Every single morning, we visit with you around 7:10 California time, and we do the After the Bell. That alone, that program alone, should be a reason that you'd want to be notified. We talk about the overnight news, but we put it in context. We talk about the stock. We talk about how all of it matters. We look at the economy. We look at what's happening generally in the stock market, and we put all that together and provide that for you every single morning. So hit notify for that. And then please do Patreon, and please buy some Cybertruck bottle openers. You know you want one. Okay, let's go on to number 21. So number 21 on my list of predictions, we will have clarity on the expansion of Reno, or we will have an alternative plan. See, these are things nobody else is talking about. Maybe they've decided that Reno is not the right place to do the batteries, the additional 500 gigawatt hours of battery 4680 production. Maybe they just can't find enough employees up there. Or maybe there's some other reasons in terms of freight, or who knows, but maybe there's something that's getting in the way of this Reno decision. I've noticed there's just absolutely nothing happening in Reno right now. So either they're going to tell us, okay, Reno's happening by February, or they're going to tell us by February that there's another plan. This is also true for the semi. So those are the two biggies. So, what they have going on in Reno right now is apparently working for them. But maybe, they've talked about how hard it is to get employees. They've talked about, there could be other issues. We want to know where they're going to build these semis, because they've been promising these semis. This is another one of those promises that keeps getting kicked down the road. We'd like to see some semis, and we'd like to see those 4680s, 500 gigawatts. Are you kidding me? Look at the kind of money that we're talking about there. Gigawatt hours. I know I keep making that mistake. Anyway, so we're either going to hear that Reno is on and they're going forward and they're breaking ground and things are going to start happening, or they're going to say, you know what, we've decided to do all of this in Austin, or we've decided to do all of this in Oklahoma. I don't know, but we decided that Reno is just not a good place for us to continue the expansion. And I think that's a possibility. All right, number 22. We will find out at some point that at least a few hundred hand-built Optimi have been working in a secret skunk works location being trained for the Tesla factories. So I'm of the opinion, people have said, well, you know, if there was 100 or 1,500 or 1,000 or 500, if there was all these Optimus that were built by hand, and there was, you know, Randy, you made this prediction last year. If that was going on, it would have been leaked. Somebody would have seen one. Somebody would have told us. It would have. You can't keep that a big secret. Oh yeah, there's one way you can do that. You can have a skunk works. Even Apple was able to keep things secret. You know, even as they got to the point where they were the biggest company in the world, they were still able to keep things secret. Microsoft Google, they all keep things secret because they have these skunk works. What's a skunk works? Well, you know, it's a secret building someplace that nobody knows about. They don't know it. They've got no Tesla nomenclature on it. There's no evidence at all that it's a Tesla facility. There was lots of those on Lathrop until Bradford Ferguson went there and says, "Oh my gosh, there's a Tesla building, and this is, oh my gosh, this is." Nobody knew about all those buildings. In fact, nobody knew that Lathrop, the original building, was going to be where they're going to make megapacks for months. So yeah, I think they took over some kind of a building someplace, probably in Fremont. They set up all the kinds of production equipment, all the kind of stuff that they normally use. They've been training robots, and they got a lot of them. Okay. Anybody else predicting that? Scott actually might have been the first one to put this bug in my ear months and months and months ago. There was a building purchased in Fremont. Nobody ever said what it was for. It's a fairly large building. It wouldn't take much. Maybe a 10,000 square foot, 25,000 square foot building would be plenty to set up quite a production facility to start training Optimi rather in that kind of situation. So hats off to Scott if he was the one that put the bug in my ear, but nobody's talked about it since. And now I'm going to raise the issue again. I think there's a skunk works. And I think that is taking, there are Optimi being tested right now. All right, number 23. AI Day 3 will be announced at either their earnings call in January or at the all hands meeting in February. So I had already announced that I thought that one of my predictions on day one, the first day of my predictions, was that AI Day 3 will be on April 20th. Of course it will, all right? But I wanted to add to that the announcement about it will either be coming up in a week on the 24th, or it will be at that February all hands meeting. And then we'll find out when that day is going to be. And it will be April 20th. Okay, number 24, the Generation 3 reveal will be announced at the Q1 earnings call on June, which will be the earnings call will be in April, and the Gen 3 reveal will be in either June or July, but the announcement will be in April for that reveal in June or July, and production in probably November. So that's, again, just an addition to my earlier statement about production in November, and then the reveal in June or July. I had already said those things, but now I want to say that the announcement about that will be at the Q1 earnings call in April. All right. 25, the semi-truck reveal will not be a big meeting. It will happen this year, okay? Don't know when. I'm going to say probably toward the end of the year, but the semi-truck reveal will not be a big meeting where all the faithful fly into a location. It will be an employee audience only. It will be announced at the second quarter meeting in July. Oh, guess what? I am going to make my prediction about when it'll be. And this reveal will be in August, and production will start in 2025, probably early in 2025. So there you go. There's my semi-truck plan for 2024. And hopefully I'm right, because I really, really love semi-trucks. I'm not even a truck guy, but man, that thing is absolutely amazing. And number 26, the semi-truck reveal will be filled with completely new developments, completely different specs, completely surprising pricing, ship dates in January. I think just like the Cybertruck, they've learned so much in the development of the Cybertruck. They learned so much from their work with Pepsi on the semi-truck. I think we are going to hear stuff in this reveal that will be just as shocking as the semi-truck. As the Cybertruck was. I think it's going to be an amazing deal, and people will be absolutely surprised. All right, number 27. Dojo as a service will be available for use January 2025, and the ramp will continue after they achieve the 100 exaflop level. I think that's supposed to be in October. So right now, all we've been told is we're going to go for 100 exaflops. We're going to have that happen in October. It will be by far the largest supercomputer of its kind in the world. It will be one of the 2 or 3 largest supercomputers of any kind in the world. And then I think they just keep going. So when they get to the 100 exaflop level, it'll be 110, then 120, then 130. And they will continue, potentially, this will be the largest supercomputer ever. It will be doing a lot of stuff. Okay, it'll be making money for Tesla as well as helping to support the Optimus effort and the full self-driving effort and the manufacturing effort and the insurance effort and all the things that I mentioned in an earlier prediction. All right, that one I think would be on day 2 of my predictions. Okay, number 28. The 4680 will announce the addition of at least one other chemistry, right? Nobody else has predicted this yet. There's been conversations about other chemistries and the fact that Tesla is chemistry agnostic. So Elon has said, we're chemistry agnostic. The 4680 is chemistry agnostic. Most of the products that Tesla makes are chemistry agnostic, but there are benefits to each of these different chemistries. But Tesla, once they get to 100 gigawatt hours in Austin, they're not going to need more of those very top-of-the-line lithium batteries. They're just not, okay? So there's a bunch of different chemistries that are being tested right now, are coming on stream right now by CATL and others. And I think that Tesla is testing multiple in Fremont right now, multiple chemistries, and the second 100 gigawatt hours in Fremont will not be the same chemistry as what we're getting for the first 100. Maybe it'll be split. Maybe some of the second 100 will still be the lithium, the top of the line lithium, but I think there will be at least one more chemistry introduced onto some of that production in Fremont. I'm sorry, in Austin. Too many factories. And then in addition to that, when they start up in, I think maybe it'll be all lithium in Berlin as well. But once they start in Reno or wherever that's going to be, that 500, we might have 2 or 3 different chemistries, maybe more out of that 500 gigawatt hours that's going to happen wherever that's going to happen. All right, probably Reno, but maybe someplace else. Okay, number 29. The lithium refinery facility in Corpus Christi will start producing usable product in Q3 as expected, maybe slightly ahead of expected. However, there will be announcements about methods and efficiencies that will be breakthroughs. Now we're kind of expecting those breakthroughs. I think one of those breakthroughs will be the way that lithium is extracted. So maybe a lot of the lithium will be coming from Chile as originally planned, or from South America and coming in by ship into the port there, and then refined and then sent on to Austin. But maybe there's going to be some new extraction methods. We know that there's quite a number of finds now in the United States of significant lithium capacity in the Salton Sea and Salt Lake. That it's easy to get, pretty easy to just, scrape off the surface of what used to be a lake. But maybe it's going to be something to do with the brine in Corpus Christi, or some of the capabilities that might be right there in Corpus Christi. Yeah, I think there's going to be some real excitement over some of the things that are going to be revealed when we get closer to actual production of the final product. I don't think they're going to talk about it until they've got actual final shippable product out of Corpus Christi. And number 30, Tesla insurance will roll out to almost all the states in 2024 and also will roll out to multiple new countries in Europe, possibly Australia, New Zealand, possibly Taiwan, possibly South Korea. I'm not sure which countries. I think there's right now China, a couple of countries in Europe, and maybe half the states now have the insurance. I'd love to add to my projection that California will finally allow Tesla's methodology to be used in California. They should. California, you realize that this auto insurance, we've got a crisis right now, in particular in Florida, California, and other places. Auto insurance has gone up by over 20% year over year nationwide, and it's a big sticking point on our inflation problem. Now, a lot of that is transitory, and it's going to go away because it had to do with the very high prices of new and used cars in 2022 into 2023. And those will come down. And then there was high prices for parts and high prices for the labor, which will modify, which will flatten out. So this will all go away and insurance prices will come back down. But these insurance prices are determined like once a year, or at least the maximums are determined once a year by insurance regulators all over the country in each individual state. So it takes a while before these companies have to lower their prices. And they're not going to probably do it right now because they're basically saying, we don't even want to be in California. We don't even want to be in Florida. We're moving out. So what a perfect time for them to approve Tesla's methodology for determining your insurance rate based on how safe you are today. Not based on your tickets in the past, not based on the fact that you happen to get in a couple of accidents, which may or may not have been 100% your fault. But even if they were, how are you driving now? And I'll drive better if my rate could be lower. I'll just, and you can test me every single day, every hour. You can test me and find out if I'm keeping my word or not. I think it's an amazing way to base insurance rates. And California just can't seem to get their act together to approve that methodology. California is the 5th largest economy in the world. They sell, there's a lot of cars here. And it would be a big difference if Tesla could become competitive in California by using their method as opposed to the method that they're being forced to use, which is the method that's been used forever. All right. So that is number 21 through 30. There's also, let me put the cards up right now before I forget. Okay. I'm going to put the cards for the number 1 and the number 1 through 10 and the number 10, 11 through 20 that I did either yesterday, I don't know, earlier, so that you can go back and look and take a look at those. I'll put them down, the URLs down in the description as well. Down in that description, when you go down there, I don't know if you know it, but I put down the plan for the rest of the week in terms of what shows are going to be up each day. So you can always look ahead and go, oh my gosh, that's one I want to definitely look at. I want you to look at all of them. I think you should be glued to your video channel, watching my channel all the time. But if you don't have time, if you want to pick and choose, I try as best I can to give you a guide, a TV guide, a video channel guide to what's going to be coming up. Usually at least 3, 4, 5 days ahead of time, sometimes a full week ahead of time. And I'm trying to do it more and more consistently in terms of being correct about what's actually going to be shown. Down there also is the complete list of all of my co-hosts and my regular guests, so that if you want to follow them on X or you want to follow their video channels, that information is down there below as well. And then always is the information about the Cybertruck. Some folks want me to stop yapping about this thing, but do you know how many of these I'm selling? Somebody asked me the other day, well, what could we say or do that would cause you to stop talking about these Cybertrucks? Well, send me a check for $2,000 a month. I'll shut up. So if you'd like to be one of the thousands now who have purchased these Cybertrucks, if you have a situation where you need to give away something, this is a perfect giveaway. I mean, it's just fantastic. If you have a situation where you're going to a party where you know there's going to be an exchange, fantastic item to give away as an exchange. If you've got friends of yours, birthday parties, you know, this is talk about a Valentine's Day gift. I mean, really. Okay, all right, enough. $25 for one, $45 for two, $65 for three. All that information is down below. Please remember to say whether it is the camo version or whether it's the stainless version, and then join Patreon. I would certainly appreciate if you would support the channel, become a producer, $3 a month. We're talking about less per month than you would spend on one coffee. Could you do that for me? Are you getting $3 worth of value? Maybe you got $3 worth of value today. Maybe it produced an idea in your head of why you should buy more Tesla stock, or why you shouldn't buy more Tesla stock, or why you should sell what you've got, or maybe why you should, I don't know. But one idea is going to be worth more than $3, right? Anyway, all right. That's all I got for you. It's been great talking to you. Oh, there are 2 more of these coming.